Hi, I'm Shaynna Blaze, Deputy Editor of Australian Property Investor magazine, and today I'm joined by Shaynna Blaze, interior designer, judge on the Block All-Stars, presenter on Selling Houses Australia, and now author. Hi Shaynna, thanks very much for your time.
Oh, hi, how are you? I'm
I'm
an author,
well.
how exciting.
Congratulations on the book. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, tell me, when
Thanks.
it comes to renovating, there seems to be this idea that you've got to be really neutral and non-offensive and everything in white and that's about it. Do you believe that, or do you think there's some room for personality?
Look, I think that sort of playing was a couple of years ago. It definitely was the way to go because the main part of competition for houses used to be display homes and they were running the forefront of how things needed to look. Whereas now we're more about individual homes and personality and style. So it really is people expecting more about personality. So just going on the basic all white tends to make it, a clinical presentation, and people aren't warming to that. So definitely putting personality into a home is one of the main things, and just putting subtle colours if you don't want to go sort of bold colours. But it's definitely about creating warmth and personality in a home to capture a buyer.
I guess longevity is important when it comes to particular decisions. What's your favourite design trend from an era gone by that perhaps hasn't dated as well as others?
That hasn't dated.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think one of the great things that I think, and a lot of people sort of have trouble with it, is the raked ceilings. I think, it was something that was used in the 70s and 80s as some new sort of great way of doing roofs and ceilings and things like that. But the way that you can sort of adapt your lighting to it and paint them actually gives a whole different feel. So you're going from this really dark, horrible 70s, 80s house, and all of a sudden you can get this beautiful Hampton style with it, with a house, just by painting the ceiling and the paneling, as opposed to like something like an avocado bath or toilet that will date completely.
Sure, sure.
Um, can't work with that, but you can actually work with those rake ceilings that are timber
Okay.
lined.
When it comes to decorating decisions, what's probably the biggest mistake that people make in your experience?
I think that the biggest mistake people make is that they go too hard too fast, and they select what they love, what they've seen in someone else's place, and try and emulate what someone else has done. And so they say, oh, it worked in her house, I'm just going to go for it and do it in my house, and just go crazy and do the whole house in this style, and actually find that those colours and those surfaces don't actually work with one, the natural lighting in the house because of the way that the house is directed, and also probably with their lifestyle. So I think that's the hardest thing, that people see someone else does it great, they try and copy it themselves, and it doesn't quite work.
I've been guilty of that a few times. What are some simple things that people can do to make a real difference in their house without perhaps spending a fortune?
There's a couple of ways. I think updating your window treatments in the main areas is really important, because window treatments can date a room. It's really expensive to do the whole house. So if you look at the main areas of the kitchen, the lounge, the open plan living, and sort of start in that point, and then take your time and filter it for the rest of the house, I think that's a really good way to start fresh and feel like you're making changes to the house. Then updating the colour scheme, like up until about 2 or 3 years ago, the basis for neutrals and a lot of the colours were an off-white and a yellow base, whereas now we're into the grey schemes and really soft tints and crisp whites. So just updating those colour schemes into your home will give you a much fresher feel and a more modern feel than what's happening today.
Okay. And as if you weren't busy enough, you've got the new book, as I mentioned. Tell me, what's it about, and who does it, I guess, target?
Well, it targets the people that ask questions like you just asked then. Because it's about a book that really, where do you start? And that's what has been asked of me all the time. Like, how do you know what you do? Where do you start? I'm confused. There's just too much information out there. So I've actually brought it back to simplicity of what the rules are in design and broken them up into rooms. So rather than just doing, this is the storage solution and then adapting it to each room, I've actually sectioned each room off. So it's a chapter about kitchen, so the basic design rules, layout, storage solutions, lighting for that area, then moving on to the bedroom and doing those same sort of points. And I think a lot of people are breaking the rules before they actually know what they are. So this gives you a starting point, and then when it all goes haywire as you keep going, you can go, okay, well, let's go backwards, and you've got a starting point again. So it means that you can fail but still feel good knowing that you can go back and start again.
Okay. And it's called Design Your Home, so people can go out and grab it now. Let's have a quick chat about the block All Stars. It's going gangbusters so far. Tell me, based on what you've seen and what's yet to come on television, what are you expecting on auction day?
I think the thing is the 4 houses are actually going for 4 different buyers. So I can't actually imagine the same buyer, say Dan and Danny's house gets sold, would want to buy the boys' house or even Amity and Phil's house. They're actually quite different houses. So I think they've all got a niche market. So hopefully who the target market is, they've got enough broad scope in that area to have a bidding war to get the best price. Then it comes down to the houses that really suit the area. And I think Amity and Phil and Josh and Jenna have probably got that area best sorted out through the whole look throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting between those 2 houses.
Okay, well, we'll find out. And congratulations on the book, and thanks so much for your time, Shaynna.
Thank you so much, and lovely chatting to you.
You too, thank you.